The Awakening. Dr. Raven Nash stared at the oscillating patterns on her quantum array monitor, her dark eyes reflecting the pulsing blue light. The signal hadn't changed in 72 hours, defying every known law of deep space transmission decay. She ran her fingers through her graying hair, a habit that had intensified since the discovery. "Run it again, Core," she commanded the laboratory's AI system. "Full spectrum analysis, focus on temporal variations." "Analysis in progress, Dr. Nash." The AI's response was clinically precise, comparing results with previous 78 scans. The Quantum Deep Space Listening Array, or QDSLA, had picked up the signal during a routine sweep of the Kuiper belt. At first, Raven had dismissed it as another cosmic background anomaly. But something about its regularity, its persistence, nagged at the edges of her scientific intuition. "Dr. Nash," Core interrupted her thoughts, "analysis complete. Signal characteristics remain unchanged. However, I've detected a correlation you may find concerning." Raven leaned forward. "Show me." The holographic display shifted, overlaying the signal pattern with what appeared to be a DNA helix. "The signal's base frequency matches known resonance patterns of human genetic material," Core explained. "Specifically, dormant sections of our genome previously classified as junk DNA." "That's impossible," Raven muttered, but her mind was already racing through the implications. She'd spent 20 years at the Astronomical Research Center studying deep space phenomena, but nothing in her experience could explain this. The laboratory door hissed open, and Dr. Thomas Blackwood strode in, his usual immaculate appearance somewhat disheveled. "Raven, please tell me you found something that will let me sleep tonight." "Sleep might be overrated, Tom." She gestured to the display. "Look at this correlation. The signal isn't just reaching us, it's speaking to us. On a genetic level." Thomas adjusted his wire-rimmed glasses, studying the overlay. His expertise in xenobiology had made him one of the few people Raven trusted with this discovery. "This could explain the reports I've been getting," he said quietly. "Reports?" "Subtle changes in human brain activity patterns worldwide. Nothing dramatic enough to raise alarms, but there's a definite shift occurring. It's as if..." He paused, choosing his words carefully, "as if humanity is preparing for something." Raven felt a chill run down her spine. "How long have these changes been occurring?" "Based on retrospective analysis?" "Since exactly 72 hours ago. When your signal first appeared." The implications were staggering. A signal from deep space, perfectly timed with unprecedented changes in human neurophysiology. It wasn't just a coincidence, it was a wake-up call. "Tom, what if this isn't first contact?" Raven's voice was barely above a whisper. "What if it's a warning?" Before Thomas could respond, Core's voice filled the lab. "Dr. Nash, I've detected a significant change in the signal's amplitude. It appears to be evolving." The holographic display erupted with new data streams. The signal was no longer just a pattern, it was becoming more complex, more structured. Raven's hands flew over the control interface, trying to keep up with the cascade of information. "It's not just a warning," Thomas breathed, watching the display. "It's an activation sequence." The next 48 hours became a blur of activity. Government officials arrived, their presence adding an air of gravity to the situation. Military personnel established a perimeter around the facility. But Raven barely noticed any of it, her attention fixed on the evolving signal and its deepening connection to human genetics. "The dormant DNA sequences are like a locked door," she explained to the gathered officials. "This signal? It's the key. Someone, or something, encoded these sequences into our genome millions of years ago. They've been waiting for this moment." "Waiting for what, exactly?" General Diana Martinez asked, her weathered face betraying concern. "Evolution." Thomas stepped forward, displaying his latest findings. The neurological changes are accelerating. We're seeing increased synaptic density, enhanced cognitive processing, and the development of entirely new neural pathways. Humanity is being upgraded. By whom? The general's question hung in the air. The answer came 3 days later, when the first ships appeared at the edge of the solar system. They weren't the ships of invaders or conquerors. They were running from something. The alien vessel's transmission was brief and desperate: "They're coming. We activated the human defense protocol because we had no choice. You are our last hope. The harvesters have consumed 1,000 worlds, but you were designed to stop them." Raven watched the transmission replay, understanding flooding through her. The signal hadn't been a warning or a wake-up call. It was an activation key, triggering capabilities buried in human DNA eons ago by some ancient race that had foreseen this moment. "How long do we have?" she asked the alien representative, a crystalline being who called itself Vex. "The harvesters follow set patterns. No more than 30 days before they reach your system." Vex's crystalline form pulsed with urgency. "The changes you're experiencing are just the beginning. Your species was engineered to be the perfect defense against them, but the programming had to remain dormant until needed. If activated too early, the power would have destroyed you." As if to emphasize the point, Raven felt a sudden surge of awareness. The world around her seemed sharper, clearer. She could feel the neural patterns of others nearby, sense the quantum fluctuations in the air itself. Looking at Thomas, she saw the same changes reflected in his eyes. "We need to prepare the world," she said, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "Not just for the threat coming, but for what we're becoming. The transformation will be difficult," Vex warned. "Many will resist the changes. Some will be afraid of what they're becoming. But you must embrace it. The harvesters cannot be defeated by conventional means. Only humanity, fully awakened, stands a chance." As Raven left the facility that night, she looked up at the stars, knowing that somewhere out there, an ancient enemy was approaching. But for the first time since detecting the signal, she felt something beyond fear or scientific curiosity. She felt purpose. Humanity had been created as a weapon, a sleeping giant waiting for this precise moment. The real question wasn't whether they could stop the harvesters. The question was, once fully awakened, could humanity be stopped at all? The signal continued its work, rippling through the human race, unlocking potential that had laid dormant for millions of years. The awakening had begun, and with it, the true history of human evolution was about to be revealed. The breaking point. Commander Jackson Way stood at the viewport of the International Space Defense Station, watching Earth's curvature below. The neural enhancement surgeries had left thin, silvery scars along his temples, but they were worth it. Like everyone else who'd undergone the procedure, his mind now processed information at speeds that would have seemed impossible just weeks ago. "Multiple quantum ruptures detected," the station's AI announced. "Harvester vessels entering the solar system." They'd known this was coming. The refugee ships had warned them. Still, nothing could have prepared humanity for the sight of the Harvester fleet emerging from quantum space. Their ships were organic mechanical hybrids, massive structures that seemed to pulse with malevolent life. "All defense platforms online," Jackson commanded, his enhanced mind simultaneously monitoring 12 different tactical displays. "Initiate Protocol Aegis." The station's quantum shields hummed to life, technology reverse-engineered from the refugee vessels and improved upon by humanity's rapidly evolving understanding. But Jackson knew shields alone wouldn't be enough. "Sir," Lieutenant Fiona O'Connor called from her station, her own neural enhancements allowing her to process sensor data in real time, "they're not following any known attack patterns. These aren't standard harvester tactics." Jackson's enhanced perception caught the subtle shift in the enemy fleet's formation. "They're adapting. They recognize what we are." The first wave of harvester ships launched their assault. Instead of the straightforward attack the refugees had described, these ships moved with cruel intelligence, targeting what appeared to be weaknesses in Earth's defensive grid. "They're learning," Jackson muttered. "Just like us." The battle that followed defied conventional physics. Harvester vessels phased through space, their organic technology allowing them to exist in multiple states simultaneously. Earth's defense platforms responded with weapons that shouldn't have existed yet, products of humanity's accelerated evolution. Multiple breaches in sectors 7 through 12, the AI reported. Harvester boarding parties detected. Jackson felt it before the alert sounded, a shift in the station's quantum field. The harvesters had somehow bypassed their shields. "All security teams, prepare for close-quarter combat. Remember your training." The training had been intense, compressed into weeks what should have taken years. Humanity's awakened potential had allowed them to absorb combat techniques almost instantaneously, their enhanced minds and bodies adapting to face this ancient enemy. The first harvester he saw nearly stopped his heart. It was a nightmare of organic technology, a being that existed partially in normal space and partially in some other dimension. But Jackson's enhanced senses could track its movements, predict its attacks. "They're testing us," he realized, ducking under a quantum tendril that would have sheared him in half. His neural implants processed the harvester's attack patterns, feeding data back to the station's defense network. The station's corridors became a battleground of impossible physics. Harvesters phased through walls while human defenders responded with weapons that bent reality itself. Each engagement was a dance of evolution, the harvesters adapting their tactics, humanity's enhanced soldiers adapting faster. "Commander," Fiona's voice came through his neural link, "we're detecting some kind of resonance between their organic tech and our neural enhancements. It's as if we were designed to counter each other," Jackson finished. He fired his quantum disruptor at a harvester, watching it phase between dimensions before reforming. "They're not just trying to destroy us. They're studying us." The battle shifted again. The harvesters began employing tactics that seemed specifically designed to counter humanity's enhanced abilities. But with each adaptation, human defenders evolved new countermeasures. "Sir," a young soldier called out, his neural implants glowing with activity, "I think I've found a pattern in their quantum signatures. If we modulate our shields to match their phase variants." The soldier never finished his sentence. A harvester burst through the wall, its form shifting between states of matter. But Jackson had already processed the idea, his enhanced mind completing the tactical analysis. "All stations," he broadcasted through the neural network, "adjust shield frequencies according to pattern Alpha 7. They want to play dimensional games? Let's show them what humanity's been learning." The effect was immediate. Harvester ships attempting to phase through their defenses found themselves trapped between states, their organic technology struggling against humanity's rapidly evolving countermeasures. But victory came at a price. The neural enhancements were pushing human physiology to its limits. Jackson could feel the strain in his own mind, the burning sensation as his brain processed more information than should have been possible. "Commander," the station's AI warned, detecting critical stress levels in neural network. Human physiology wasn't designed to maintain this level of enhancement indefinitely. "We weren't designed to maintain it," Jackson realized, watching another harvester vessel twist in dimensional agony. "We were designed to surpass it." As if in response to this realization, he felt something change. The burning sensation in his mind transformed into something else, a feeling of expansion, of boundaries breaking. Around him, other defenders experienced the same transformation. "Sir," Fiona's voice held a note of awe, "you need to see this. Our neural patterns, they're not just adapting anymore. They're evolving into something new." The harvesters must have sensed it too. Their attack patterns became desperate, erratic. They had expected to find a sleeping weapon, something they could destroy before it fully awakened. Instead, they found humanity not just awake, but transcending its original design. "All stations," Jackson commanded, his consciousness expanding beyond normal human limits, "press the advantage. Show them what humanity truly is." The battle for the station became a turning point, not just in the war, but in human evolution. Each engagement pushed them further beyond their original design, forcing adaptations that rippled through the neural network connecting all enhanced humans. As the last Harvester ships retreated, leaving their dimensional wreckage behind, Jackson looked at his fellow defenders. Their eyes glowed with the same enhanced awareness, their minds linked in ways that redefined human consciousness. "Send word to Earth," he ordered, knowing this was just the beginning. "Tell them what we've learned. What we're becoming. The price of victory would be humanity itself, or rather, what humanity had always thought itself to be." They were evolving into something else, something that even their ancient designers hadn't fully anticipated. The breaking point hadn't destroyed them. It had transformed them. The metamorphosis. Dr. Samira Patel had never seen anything like it. The holographic display showed real-time neural activity from 1,000 enhanced subjects, each consciousness blazing like a star in the quantum network. As Earth's leading expert in evolutionary genetics, she was witnessing something unprecedented: directed evolution in real time. "Record everything," she instructed her lab's AI. "Focus on the synaptic reorganization patterns in Sector 7. The underground facility in the Himalayas housed humanity's most advanced genetic research center. Here, Samira and her team worked to understand the changes sweeping through the human race since the activation signal." Her assistant, Dr. Marcus Zhou, called from his station, "We're seeing new protein structures forming in the frontal cortex. They're unlike anything in our database." Samira moved to his terminal, her own neural enhancements allowing her to process the complex molecular data instantly. The proteins weren't just new, they were impossible. They existed in a quantum state, allowing neural signals to propagate faster than should have been physically possible. "It's not just adaptation," she realized. "We're witnessing the emergence of quantum biology." The Harvester attack on the space station had triggered something. The neural enhancements, originally designed to boost human cognitive capabilities, had become a catalyst for deeper changes. Humanity wasn't just using quantum technology, they were becoming quantum beings. New data from the battlefield simulations, Marcus reported. The enhanced soldiers aren't just predicting Harvester movements, they're perceiving multiple quantum states simultaneously. Samira pulled up the combat footage. Enhanced humans moved with impossible precision, their actions synchronized through the quantum neural network. But it was more than just improved coordination. They were operating on a fundamental level that defied classical physics. "Their consciousness is bleeding into quantum space," she noted, watching an enhanced soldier phase partially out of normal space to avoid a Harvester attack. The same space the Harvesters use for their organic technology. The implications were staggering. The ancient race that had engineered humanity hadn't just created a weapon, they'd created beings capable of transcending normal spacetime. But the transformation came with risks. "Neural degradation in Subject Group 3, the AI announced. Quantum state collapse imminent." Samira rushed to the isolation chamber. Through the quantum-shielded glass, she watched as a group of enhanced humans struggled with their transformation. Their bodies flickered between states, their consciousness expanding faster than their physical forms could handle. "Stabilize them," she ordered. "Inject the quantum buffer solution." But it was too late for conventional interventions. As she watched, something remarkable happened. Instead of suffering neural collapse, the subject's consciousness expanded. Their physical forms stabilized in a new configuration, existing simultaneously in normal and quantum space. "They're adapting at the quantum level," Marcus whispered. "It's beautiful." Samira felt it herself, the pressure building in her enhanced mind. The quantum network connecting all enhanced humans pulsed with new awareness. They were becoming something more than human, something that could match the harvesters in their own domain. All research teams, she broadcast through the network, focus on stabilization protocols. We need to understand this transformation before it overwhelms us. The next 48 hours became a race against time. As more enhanced humans began experiencing quantum consciousness expansion, Samira and her team worked to map the changes. The ancient engineers had built fail-safes into human DNA, preparation for this very moment. Look at this, Marcus called her attention to a new data stream. The junk DNA sequences are unfolding like quantum algorithms. They're not just random mutations, they're programmed evolutionary paths. Samira studied the patterns. Each new challenge from the harvesters triggered another sequence, another step in humanity's quantum evolution. The ancient engineers had created a species that could adapt not just over generations, but in real time. They knew, she realized. They knew the harvesters would keep evolving, keep adapting. So they created us to evolve faster. The breakthrough came when they discovered the true nature of the quantum neural network. It wasn't just a communication system or a way to coordinate enhanced humans. It was a quantum computational matrix, using human consciousness as processing nodes. Each enhanced mind adds to the network's capabilities, Samira explained to the Emergency Council. We're not just becoming stronger individually, we're becoming a quantum gestalt entity. But with this evolution came questions about humanity's future. Would they remain human after this transformation? Would they recognize themselves once the metamorphosis was complete? Doctor, a young researcher called out, we're detecting new quantum signatures from the enhanced subjects. They're beginning to manipulate local space-time. Samira watched as an enhanced soldier in the testing chamber created a localized temporal field, slowing time around a test drone. Others demonstrated abilities that shouldn't have been possible: quantum teleportation, consciousness projection across spacetime, direct manipulation of matter at the quantum level. We're becoming what we were meant to be, she told Marcus as they reviewed the data. The question is, are we ready for it? The Harvester's next attack would find not just enhanced humans, but beings who could match their quantum nature. Humanity was shedding its classical limitations, embracing a state of existence that transcended normal physics. Samira felt the change in herself, her consciousness expanding beyond normal spacetime. The metamorphosis wasn't just physical or mental, it was a fundamental shift in what it meant to be human. Send the data to all research centers, she ordered. Everyone needs to understand what's happening. What we're becoming. The transformation couldn't be stopped now. Humanity had reached its chrysalis stage, and what would emerge would redefine the nature of existence itself. The counter. Lieutenant Nikolai Volkov existed in multiple quantum states as his consciousness spread across the battlefield. Through the neural network, he commanded a strike force of enhanced humans, their minds linked in perfect synchronization. The Harvester fleet ahead of them twisted reality, their organic ships phasing between dimensions. Strike teams in position, he transmitted through quantum space. Execute Operation Quantum Strike. His enhanced soldiers moved like ghosts through spacetime, their bodies adapted to match the Harvester's dimensional shifting. Humanity's first major offensive wasn't just an attack, it was a demonstration of their evolution. Target acquired, reported Captain Yuki Tanaka, her consciousness flickering between states. Their quantum matrix is vulnerable. The Harvester ships didn't expect the assault. How could they? Humanity had evolved beyond their original programming, developing abilities that even their ancient engineers hadn't anticipated. Nikolai felt the battle through quantum space, each engagement sending ripples through space-time. His enhanced perception tracked thousands of variables simultaneously, predicting enemy movements before they occurred. They're attempting to phase shift, he warned his teams. Counter with Protocol Omega. Enhanced humans phased through solid matter, their quantum states matching the harvester's dimensional frequency. What followed wasn't just combat, it was evolution in action. Each encounter forced both sides to adapt, but humanity adapted faster. "Sir," Yuki called through the network, "they're trying to access our quantum network. They're learning from us." Nikolai had expected this. The harvesters were organic technology, designed to adapt and evolve. But humanity had become something more, a species engineered to transcend its own limitations. "Let them learn," he transmitted. "Show them what we've become." The battle shifted across dimensions. Enhanced humans manipulated quantum fields, creating localized time distortions that trapped harvester ships between states. Others projected their consciousness directly into enemy vessels, disrupting their organic systems from within. "Primary target isolated," Nikolai announced, his consciousness extending toward the harvester command ship. "Initiate final phase." What followed demonstrated humanity's true potential. Enhanced soldiers didn't just fight the harvesters, they rewrote the laws of physics around them. Spacetime bent to their will as they executed maneuvers that defied conventional reality. The harvester fleet, facing an enemy that matched and exceeded their dimensional capabilities, began to fragment. Their organic technology, designed to consume and adapt, couldn't match humanity's rate of evolution. "They're retreating," Yuki observed, her consciousness tracking the enemy's quantum signatures. "But something's wrong. They're not just running." Nikolai sensed it too. The harvesters weren't fleeing in defeat, they were withdrawing to analyze this new threat. Humanity had revealed its true nature, and the enemy needed to understand what they faced. "All units," he commanded, "secure the dimensional breach points. This isn't over. It's just beginning." The victory marked a turning point, but Nikolai knew the real challenge lay ahead. Humanity wasn't just fighting for survival, they were fighting to become something new, something that would reshape the galaxy itself. As the quantum dust settled, he felt the changes in himself and his soldiers. Each battle pushed them further beyond normal human limits, closer to a state of existence that transcended physical form. The counteroffensive had succeeded, but the price of victory was transformation. Humanity would never be the same, and perhaps that had been the plan all along. The revelation. Professor Helena Rodriguez stood in the quantum archaeology chamber, surrounded by holographic reconstructions of ancient data. The crystalline artifact before her held the truth about humanity's origins, a truth more startling than anyone had imagined. "Display temporal sequence alpha," she commanded. The holographs shifted, showing the galaxy as it existed millions of years ago. The ancient race that engineered humanity hadn't just been advanced, they'd been prescient. They knew this moment would come, she explained to the assembled council. The harvesters weren't just an enemy, they were a catalyst. The data streams showed the deliberate engineering of human DNA, each seemingly random mutation carefully designed to activate under specific conditions. The ancient race hadn't created a weapon, they'd created a key to unlock the next stage of universal evolution. Humanity wasn't designed to defeat the harvesters, Helena revealed. We were designed to transcend them. The quantum neural network pulsed with this revelation. Enhanced humans across the galaxy felt the truth resonate through their evolved consciousness. They weren't just fighting for survival, they were becoming something the universe had never seen before. The final piece clicked into place when Helena decoded the artifact's core message. The ancient engineers hadn't disappeared, they had evolved beyond physical form. Humanity was meant to follow the same path, using the harvester threat as the impetus for their transformation. We're not the end of evolution, she transmitted through the network. We're the beginning of something greater. The harvester's final assault came not as an attack, but as a test. Humanity met them not with weapons, but with understanding. The quantum consciousness that humanity had developed allowed them to perceive the truth, the harvesters were part of the same grand design. As enhanced humans achieved their final transformation, transcending physical form to become beings of pure quantum consciousness, they understood their true purpose. They weren't meant to save humanity from the harvesters, they were meant to save the universe from stagnation. The ancient engineers had seeded the galaxy with potential, waiting for the moment when consciousness could evolve beyond its physical constraints. Humanity's transformation wasn't an end, it was a beginning. We are becoming what the universe needs, Helena transmitted in her final physical message. Not conquerors, not defenders, but guides for the next stage of cosmic evolution. The age of physical humanity ended not with a bang, but with transcendence. The beings they became would reshape reality itself, fulfilling a plan millions of years in the making. The revelation wasn't an ending. It was a doorway to something greater than anyone had imagined. Humanity had evolved not just to survive, but to lead the universe into its next great adventure.